Very strong clap by Mitchell coming back into the segment. I wish our viewers could have seen that.
I was going to say, nailed the clap.
Redeemed.
I do it on camera, but I'm really
There's so much passion.
The table shook.
so focused.
So listen, Monday, the penny will be phased out. That's, we're getting rid of our little, oh, did you bring a penny? Oh, Tracy.
I put in 5 cents into the pot there, or
Very
6.
nice.
That's 6 cents.
No, okay.
Which rounds down to 5 though, so.
No.
That's true. Now listen, you've got a penny bucket at home,
Yes.
right? And you said you probably got $100 worth of pennies in there or
Yes.
more?
It's huge.
Wow.
Yeah,
Roll it.
like it's like, yeah. If you can lift it, it's super
I have
heavy.
been going to the
Now,
gym.
I know that you're hanging on to it because there is a charity event that you know about
Yep.
where you can donate your pennies?
Well, it all started back in November for We Day. That's for Free the Children, and it was a huge event. And they partnered with RBC. And it was to collect pennies because as of Monday, the Mint is phasing out the penny. And the goal is to provide 100,000 people with permanent sources of clean water. So schools across Canada are doing this Create Change, We Create Change. So all week, next week, starting Monday right through till Friday.
So yes, next week.
Yeah, actually till Saturday at any RBC you can drop off your pennies to donate.
Which is awesome. And I know a lot of people who do have pennies, but in particular, just about every guy I know, and this includes my loving partner Taryn, has a bucket full of pennies. Why do men collect their change in a bucket?
Because it's awesome. Because literally, okay, you come home from the day and you've got change in your pocket, so you get rid of it. And then I don't do it just with pennies. I do it with pretty much anything under $1, because those loonies can turn into coffee later, but thus creating more change. But anyways, I have these jars, and like I'm going to Vegas in May. So, week before the trip, you roll all that stuff, you bring it to the bank, you got an extra 60, 70, $100, which is, you don't even notice it really. And then it just kind of builds up, and you're not really thinking about spending that money because, well, you got to take it out and you got to roll it and everything. So that never gets in the way. Then you have an extra $100 whenever that
Does
time.
any guy ever actually roll it though? Let's be honest.
My mom,
Really?
my
I don't
mom
believe
worked
it
in a
either.
bank. Now she works for Investors Group back in Dauphin, but I used to go to like horse races and stuff, and afterwards I'd be helping her roll change. It's just something I always did, so I never really.
It was weird.
I never thought it was weird,
In the
but you know what? But you know what? I look like the intelligent person when I have an extra $100. So it's awesome.
I do, but I don't roll it. I go to those machines, those big green machines where you just like sort of dump it in and it spits out a receipt, takes 8% off, and then you just get the cash.
That's
from
fairly new,
Safeway.
though,
Relatively
right?
new.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess on the old days, I used to sort of roll it up.
Did you actually?
Yeah, you get those machines that you just dump it in. It was like roll it for you, like infomercials in the 90s. Those were good.
Plastic things.
Yeah.
Right?
they're right.
I just still find it, I mean, yeah, I guess so if women have wallets, you just put the change in there and then it's in your purse, you go, it's with you always, so you spend it and there's never that collection. But I just find it funny that seriously every guy I know ever has had that change bucket.
Yeah, and
It's
I'm
odd.
for sure that old lady who is looking for the exact same thing.
You're gonna miss the penny.
That is my pet peeve when I'm in line at like a grocery store. People that are like,
don't
okay,
want
it comes
change.
out to something 92, change all over, and it's just like, no. But
You can say,
Well, I'm
let me-
worse. I don't even take it
let me
out. It
roll
takes me
that.
a while
Yeah.
longer because I have to really find it in there. And I've got like all these like Metro passes in there too from when I go to Toronto. So it's like, oh, is that
making
a
me-
dime? No.
it's making me quiver.
I love those mail wallets where it actually has that little change purse in it. It's just so adorable. And they like take out their wallet, big gruff guy. He's like, oh.
I think that is less frequent.
Less frequent.
But you know,
More enjoyable.
you're not going to be able to use bills on buses either anymore. Starting as of the 1st of February, that was a new thing too. That it's really we're trying. I think we're going to a cashless society.
Yeah.
Big leaps have been made with getting rid of the penny. And then now on the bus here in Winnipeg, there's going to be kind of a different system for that.
I'm surprised it's taken so long. When I went to New Zealand in like 1999, they had already phased it out like years before, and it was it was just something they always did. Oh, you just round it up or down, and I just thought, of course. Well, what can you buy for a penny? And here we are. several years later, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
makes sense.
the way times have changed and the value of money has changed. A penny is clearly worth very little comparatively speaking, even 20, 30 years ago,
Sure.
a smaller amount of money was worth a lot more. So I just think that's kind of interesting. But if you're going to be riding the bus, which I know a few of us do, you can't use your bills anymore. You have to think ahead.
But when are you ever using bills anyway?
Or change.
Or change?
I guess that's change. Bills. It says no bills on buses. I didn't clearly look particularly deep into what that means, but I will get back to you.
You should do your research.
And I didn't. Yes, Mitch and I were in the newsroom talking about tights versus pants.
That's true. It was a heated conversation.
So obviously there was another thing that came up in conversation that was kind of interesting in the newsroom yesterday, and that was a panel has recommended provincial court judges' pay be boosted to more than $224,000 a year. Do you think, now first of all, would you take on the job of a judge? Would you be a judge?
No.
Yes.
I think I would, but man, like honestly, I'm the type of person that I think they deserve it. It's a very tough job that not a lot of people want to do, considering you're affecting lives and directly affecting lives. So it's something that I mean, I would do, but the compensation's got to be fair, given the level of decision that you're making.
Yeah, I feel like I'm along the same lines as well. I think it's a really tough job. But I also know that that court cases are tied up, and we have a lot of problems with getting cases through the doors. And if we have the money to be paying more, then can we allot some more money to get
more.
cases going? Yeah, more people in the system to deal with this backlog of people who are, serving time and a half because. Or you know what I mean? Like they are actually serving less prison time, or maybe other people who shouldn't be in jail but are waiting to get their case.
And I don't know if it's so much the crime, but it's the family court stuff that actually is really, really, and it's the blue collar or the white collar stuff too, the small claims. Those things are like really, really heavy. And I mean.
It's a huge responsibility, but $224,000. There was an online poll, and the votes were pretty high for that's too much.
And I think it's easy to sort of see that big number and be like, oh, that's a lot. But I think you need to take a look at provincially, how does it break down from every other place? Because if we're way out to lunch as far as paying our judges too low than other provinces, maybe we're not getting the same quality of applicants and whatnot, strictly because of that. So it's hard to say. I think it's a very tough job. What you're doing is impacting lives, as Mitch said. So although there is some sort of power corrupts opportunity there, that doesn't necessarily help itself by having a higher pay wage, but personally I'm for it, depending on what it was at before. If it was like a giant increase and over other provinces, maybe less so, but...
You're up for a lot of criticism as a judge, and you're handcuffed, which people don't understand in a lot of cases, you're handcuffed by precedent. You can't just go and rule what you want, what you feel to be the right answer. There's precedent that you have to follow. It's not like you can just decide on your own, right? So it's a tough job, and just kind of an interesting one. I thought that was a number. I didn't know judges were paid that, and I think it is fair, given that you could be targeted. And a decision that you make could impact your life, your family's life, because you're doing your job. And if someone doesn't like the decision you've come up with, or even if it's a jury case and the judge is presiding and someone they have a place to channel their anger and find a way to get to you. There have been cases of home invasions of judges' homes and whatnot. So I don't know, just kind of an interesting thought.
Well, and following that, is it really fair, or do we need to know this certain amount of money? Like, if I was a judge, if I was a judge right now, maybe I would be ticked off that, hey, if they're even thinking I don't even make anywhere near that, or, I don't know.
Yeah, I think there needs to be level. For me, there needs to be a level of transparency. I mean, we know how much the Prime Minister makes. We know how much,
public money.
Yeah,
we need to know how it's being spent.
And wouldn't this be more than what the Prime Minister makes? Like, I'm pretty sure it is,
Significantly.
deep down. So, I mean, then that brings in a whole other argument in a lot of different ways. Yeah.
All right, we've got to take a quick break. We're going to come back and talk about phones and the Super Bowl.